Welcome, watchers, to another episode of VIVA JUEGO. Where we last left off on our tutorial, I was just barely beginning to sketch these guys out, and I continued without you, so sorry about that. Frankly, recording 10 minutes at a time, I've found, when drawing, is barely enough time to get anything done, so I'd rather I just take you through the major steps. You did see me kind of ideate the first couple of girls, though, so, I mean, it's important that you see that, but you don't have to see it for every single one. What do you want from me? This is like the 10th episode or something. I don't know. But I would like to go into detail about more of them. Just kind of go down the line, talk about them a little bit. These are all the different agents. You can see they're completely colored in and looking pretty darn good. So let's begin with Red here. I do not know where they came from, but I can sort of give you a general idea of my thoughts for them. Let me zoom in here. So this is Agent Red here. She's from like a hot, demonic kind of planet. You can see that she's not even really a body. She's just kind of like this sort of haunted skeleton covered in sort of like this ethereal sort of essence, which I thought was really cool. I didn't want to make all of them necessarily, I mean, they do have sort of the feminine shape, but since there's so many of them, I didn't want to necessarily stick to this single normal face. So a lot of them look pretty weird, which I think is okay, you know. Who says that they have to kind of all have to have a normal face? They are aliens after all. So Red is actually kind of one of my favorites. She looks pretty badass. So let's move on to Agent Orange, who sort of the inspiration for her was a more tropical themed setting. You'll remember that originally these two were slightly different, and I went back in and I changed them, and I even moved some of their bodies to different areas, but I'll talk about that later. So, she's from like a sort of a tropical jungle kind of a thing. She's got a very kind of Lilo and Stitch thing going on here, I guess. So I wanted to make her very cat-like, and I realized that Agent Pink was already very cat-like. So in my next video, I'm going to show you that I did go back and change some of the main characters slightly, so that they could be more accommodating for all these differences. So Agent Orange will be having these cat-like features, and Agent Pink, as you will see in a future episode, will not have those cat-like features anymore. They will be a different animal, but she's still going to have like the kawaii thing going. So that's her, and she actually doesn't have 4 eyes. She just has these markings on top of her real eyes to give her sort of this 4-eyed look, to give her more intimidating. And she's got kind of like these protrusions coming out that are very whisker-like, although they are actually more fleshy, kind of tendrils. And of course she's got like this big toothy grin, very Cheshire cat. So that's Agent Orange and Agent Red. Next we have Agent Indigo, who is straight up just a robot. I really liked robots. I really like robots. I mean, what else? What else can I say? So she's, you know, she got the metal skin here going. She's got like this very synthetic, perfect straight hair, and sort of these glowing eyes, which are kind of cool, I think. And I always make my robots' mouths to look like that. I guess it's kind of a problem for me. Agent Violent coming up next. She is like literally a flower bud. I based her off of sort of like that fauna. So her head is this giant flower bud, and she's got these big kind of sort of glossy milky eyes and this tiny mouth. And her special move, I've already decided, is her head's gonna open up like a blossom sort of and just kind of release sort of like these pores, these sort of poisonous bombs coming out of her head. It's gonna be pretty damn cool. And so yeah, let's move on to Agent Brown, who is another favorite of mine. As I said before, you guys were there when I was designing her and kind of coloring her in. Brown is really a hard color to sell, so I tried to give her a bit of beauty and mysticism and something really unique, so people would be more inclined to choose her, you know, as a character, rather than getting some kind of icky, yucky brown thing. You get really more the exotic side of Brown. So that's what I was trying to go for. She's got that one big cyclops eye with very Egyptian style Egyptian kind of influence on the eye. You can see those sort of bars that come out of the corners. And she's got, of course, like this head wrap around her, very, Lawrence of Arabia. Oh boy. So this is Agent Black, and she's obviously based upon the design of a spider. So I kind of had a little fun with this one. I gave her, a couple extra pair of arms. So she's got like the eight limbs thing going on. She's got this mouth. She's not necessarily pretty, but she does have sort of like this mystical, kind of very interesting thing. She's got big eyes, 8 eyes, and she's got like these sort of tribal looking marks all over her body. So definitely something to be cool, and I'm definitely going to be exploring that in her individual animation. I'm thinking maybe I'll take out these extra arms for when she's in her normal mode, but when she does that additional animation, these extra arms are going to pop out and do something. We'll see how that goes. This is just fun. This is just designing. This is Agent White, and by design she's going to be a very difficult character to get. She's actually a princess, so she's kind of got like that bratty personality, very delicate personality, but still like a badass princess. I don't know. But she's going to be probably one of the last characters that you'll be able to unlock. Sort of going back on, not going back on, this is the first time I've actually brought it up, but originating from the idea that all of the colors sort of unite. When you take the color spectrum in light, quite the opposite from when you take the color spectrum in pigment. When you mix those colors in pigment, you will always get black, but when you mix all the colors in light, you always get white. So I tried to give it like a very gentle rainbow, so it kind of looks like it coming together, and then it centers on this whiteness and this pureness, so it really feels like she's sort of this combination of all of these light spectrums coming together. So she's really hard to get. She's gonna have a really badass animation. I just haven't figured it out. I mean, I want it to be something amazing. And of course she's got like these big eyes and just that kind of elegance about her. So something, I guess, around the plot will probably have something to do with all of the girls uniting probably to rescue her. She's important, I guess. And this is just the extra one. I had an extra space here, so I filled in. I did Agent Cyan, who was the original Agent Blue, but I decided to change her out. But she's still going to be in the game because I really liked her design. She had like this very angelic kind of, how do I say, like a mystic design about her. So when I had her in mind when I was designing her, I was thinking sort of like the ancient temples in Asia, sort of, and just the idea of these deities that they had there. So it was very holy, very what are the words? Just a mystical. So she's very kind of like this enlightened thing. I put like the third eye in the middle of her head. She's got like this glowing golden skin and this blue hair, which were two colors that were very important to that kind of a tradition. And she's got these wings here in both her ears and coming out of her back, which imply this kind of heavenliness, this otherworldly quality about her. So that's what I really liked about her. So that's all the girls, and I just wanted to talk to them, tell them to you briefly. Maybe you can kind of watch me while I design the rest of these later on in the series, because there will be more, hopefully. But these are the basic ones, basic unlockables. So I just wanted you guys to get a good look at that. I'm going to be recording this episode and pretty much putting it together very quickly. And then tomorrow I'm going to be filming, and I'm going to have a lot of friends over. I'm just going to be drawing. I'm just going to be doing some art related to the game, and we'll be talking about stuff. So if all goes well, that should be really, really fun. So look forward to that. Anyway, I'm your host, Chic Monster. Thanks for sticking around for this episode of Viva Juego. Did I say that right? Viva Juego! And I will see you guys next time. Alright, keep it real.